She introduced me as her driver at a party I had partly funded. Loud enough for everyone nearby to catch. Later I pulled her aside, confused and stung. She rolled her eyes like I was being dramatic. You should be grateful I even let you in, she said coldly. I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice. Grabbed my jacket and walked out. Weeks later, her parents appeared at my door. Strange how you can spend years with someone and still feel like a stranger to them. Or maybe I had always known deep down and refused to admit it. But what happened last month left no room for doubt. I'm 32. My name's Alex. And I had been dating Susan, 29, for 2 years. We first met at a trivia night. Through mutual friends. She was stunning, sharp, magnetic. People seemed drawn to her naturally. Fell fast and hard. Susan worked in tech support at a downtown company. Entry level, not high-ranking, but she spoke as if she ran place. I owned a small construction business, general contracting. Not flashy, but honest. I built it from nothing and took pride in that. Gave us a solid life. First, everything was great. Weekends meant exploring new food spots. Trying indie films at a hidden theater. She adored. Looking back though, there were signs. Small digs about my clothes. Snide jokes about my truck and the fact she never once introduced me to a single coworker. I ignored it all. I was in love. A month ago she mentioned her company was hosting a big client event at a luxury downtown hotel. She was on the planning team and stressed over every detail. One night scrolling on her phone, she mentioned Jessica from IT was bringing her lawyer boyfriend. Asked if she could bring me for support. I said. Hesitated just a fraction, but I noticed. I guess, she replied. But it's just corporate stuff. You'll probably be bored. She'd been worried about bills, so I offered to help. Her rent had gone up, and she'd been hinting she might have to move. I ended up paying for her new dress. $1,450. A gift basket for her boss, $200. Plus some other event costs. Not ruinous, but not small either. On the night of the party I suited up. Fresh haircut best. When I picked her up she barely noticed, only asked if I had brought the gift basket. As we entered the hotel I felt her pull away, walking a step ahead. Never quite beside me. Then before we entered the ballroom she turned and said, maybe wait in the bar. I've got to check on things first. I'll come get you. Offered to help carry something. Sighed, slightly annoyed, but let me in. The ballroom was impressive. Dim lights. Open bar, appetizers floating on trays. She spotted coworkers immediately and made a beeline toward them. Followed a step behind. Everything looks amazing. Susan, said a woman in black. Who's this? I extended my hand. This is Alex, Susan said with a short pause. My driver. For the night. The air shifted. The woman looked puzzled, glancing at my tailored. Your driver? Yeah, Susan laughed. Too loudly. He dropped me off. Was heading out now. Right, Alex. It was like being punched. 2 years together and now I was her chauffeur. I gently guided her. Right. What was that? I whispered. Rolled her eyes, scanning the room. These people matter. My career's at stake. Wait in the car, okay? I helped pay for this party, I reminded her. I bought your dress. That's when her face hardened. You should be grateful I even let you in. Everything snapped into focus. The signs. The digs, they weren't quirks. They were. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. Nodded. You're right, I said and left. I grabbed my jacket, walked out and drove home in silence. By the time I pulled into my driveway I had over a dozen missed Calls and texts. Where are you? Seriously. You're just leaving. You're embarrassing me. Stop being dramatic. I didn't reply. Turned off my phone, opened a beer and sat in peace for the first time in years. The next morning Susan showed up. Puffy eyes but makeup perfect. Always polished. Always prepared. You just left, she said. Indignant. I had to get an Uber. You called me your driver, I said, leaning against the door. It was a joke. God, you're so sensitive. These people are important. I didn't want them thinking I was dating a contractor. A contractor, I repeated flatly. She looked ashamed but not truly sorry. That's not what I meant. It's just complicated office politics. Then came the tears. She was skilled at that, summoning them on command, she said. She was sorry, stressed that she'd make it. To me. Suggested a weekend getaway. I love you, she whispered, touching my. You know that, right? Let her. Believe it. Made her coffee, listened. Left convinced we were fine. For a few days, things seemed normal. She was affectionate, texting constantly, talking about our future. Then she called, excited. Babe, guess what? My birthday's in a couple of weeks. I want to have dinner at Intelli's. With some coworkers. Networking you. No. Sounds great, I said calmly. Yeah, but money's tight after the event. Could you cover it? You want me to pay? Asked, already knowing. It'd mean so. Just work people, nothing big. Need a card on file. About $1,200. I can put mine down, I said. Just tell me when. You're the best, she squealed. I'll stop. By tomorrow. The next day she arrived. Handed her a credit card. Not my usual one. She didn't notice. So what time should I be there? Asked. She froze. Oh, it's just work friends. You probably wouldn't enjoy it. Got it, I said with a smile. No problem. She thanked me, kissed my cheek and left. What she didn't know was that the card I gave her was maxed out, flagged, and tied to my business account's fraud monitoring. Let her try explaining that to Intelli's. She gave me a quick kiss before heading out. You're the best, she said. That evening on her birthday dinner night, I called my credit card company. I reported the card stolen and they canceled it immediately, sending me a new one. Then I put on my sharpest suit, nicer than the one from her office party, and drove to Intelli's. Instead of walking through the main doors, I found a quiet seat at the bar, with a clear line of sight to the private dining room. A decorative screen gave me cover to watch without being noticed. They arrived around 7:30. Susan entered in a sleek dress I'd never seen, radiant and brimming with confidence, surrounded by colleagues. I spotted the same woman from the office party, the one who'd heard Susan call me her driver. Beside Susan was a tall, well-groomed man who kept resting his hand on the small of her back. She didn't move away. If anything, she leaned into him. I ordered a scotch and observed. They laughed, clinked glasses, snapped photos. She looked completely at home, glowing and magnetic, so different from the Susan I knew, the one who complained about long hours and griped about her coworkers. At 9:45, right on cue, the server brought the bill. I watched Susan hand over my credit card, smiling proudly as she brushed off offers to split it. It's my birthday, she probably said. This one's on me. The waiter disappeared with the card. Waited. Minutes later he returned, whispering discreetly to her. Her smile fell. Confidence melted into confusion, then panic. She checked her phone, probably her banking app, and began frantically typing. My phone buzzed. Alex, something's wrong with your card. It's declining. Call me. I ignored it. Another came. This is serious. I look like an idiot in front of everyone. The bill is $1,200. Still I said nothing. Just sipped my drink. After 5 more desperate texts I finally replied. Look behind you. The bar. Her eyes darted around until they locked onto me. Her face drained of color. I stood, adjusted my jacket, and walked calmly toward their table, envelope in hand. The room quieted. Forks froze. You could hear a pin drop. Susan stared wide-eyed, pale. A colleague whispered, "Isn't that your driver?" I smiled politely. "Susan, actually. I was her boyfriend for 2 years." I pulled photos from the envelope. Vacations, holidays, parties. I spread them on the table. "I'm also the guy who bought her that dress she's wearing, paid for her boss's gift basket, and got called a driver for the privilege." The silence was crushing. The man beside her subtly moved his chair away. Her boss, stern at the head of the table, studied the photos with a clenched jaw. Susan hissed, "Alex, can we talk outside?" "No need," I said evenly. "I came to wish you a happy birthday, and let you know the card was cancelled yesterday. Reported lost." "You what?" she shrieked, composure cracking. I straightened. "Oh, and to answer your question from a couple weeks ago, no, I'm not grateful you let me in. But I am grateful for the clarity." Turning to the table, I added, "Enjoy the evening, everyone. The bill's on Susan." She leapt up, grabbing my arm. "You can't just leave. At least help me cover it." I looked at her hand, then her eyes. "F*** off," I said quietly. Then I walked away. Behind me, chaos erupted. Susan shouting my name, co-workers murmuring, someone suggesting they all split the check. I didn't look back. The next day, my phone blew up. Calls, texts, alternating between apologies and threats. Blocked her. She showed up at my house twice. I never answered. She left voicemails from friends' phones, sobbing and desperate. I deleted them all. A week later, one of her colleagues reached out on LinkedIn. HR had investigated. Turns out Susan had been lying about her role, taking credit for projects she never touched. The man from the dinner, her secret senior developer fling, distanced himself immediately after the blow-up. 2 weeks later, there was a knock on my door. Susan's parents. I'd only met them once. "Alex," her father said uneasily. "May we come in?" We sat in my living room, silence hanging heavy. Finally her mother spoke. "We came to apologize. For everything." Her father nodded. "She's been a mess since that night. Lost her job. Moved back with us." "I'm sorry to hear that," I said, and part of me meant it. I hadn't wanted revenge. Just peace. Her mom's voice was firm. "Don't feel sorry. She did this to herself." They explained they'd always known Susan could be materialistic, that they'd spoiled her, even encouraged her to use her looks while she had them. "She told us the whole story," her father added. "At first, she claimed you humiliated her for no reason. Then she admitted everything." Her mother pulled out an envelope. "She's too ashamed to come, but we made her take responsibility." Inside was a check for $925 and a short handwritten note. "Covers the dress, the gift basket, and the rest," her mom said. "We made her sell some designer things to cover it." "It's a small step," her father added. "But it's something." I slid the check back in the envelope. "Thank you. I appreciate you coming by." Apparently, Susan deleted all her social media and was focusing on personal growth. As for me, business is thriving. I've started dating again, carefully. Last week I had coffee with a woman, a kindergarten teacher. When I told her I was a contractor, she asked thoughtful questions, genuinely interested. Sometimes I remember that night in the ballroom, when Susan introduced me as her driver. Stung. But now, I'm thankful. Some people reveal themselves in explosive moments. Others show it through small jabs, casual lies. Either way, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I just wish I had believed sooner.